Hey guys, Bruno here from FLytec. We got a FLytecTalks episode today, our very first one, and we're going to be trying to bring you guys these episodes every week. We're here this week with Tommy from Fanvil, and we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the V-Series phones. This is kind of the high-end line that Fanvil has to offer of the phones.
That's cool.
Can you tell me a little bit about the line of the V-Series and what you guys are aiming for there?
Appreciate it, Bruno. Thanks for the introduction. The V-Series, even though it says high-end, within the quote-unquote high-end series, there's really a line that stems from those who meet the baseline requirements as well as those that want really a high-end phone. The two of the models that we're showing here sort of represents one of each side, where the V63 is still, even though that's the baseline, it has a color screen that really sports giggy, PoE, all of the different types of features that people are seeking within a phone. And the only piece that it's missing that is offered in the in-between models, which is the 64 and 65, both of those are Linux as well, but they actually include integrated Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth capabilities. Of course, the V67 also includes those capabilities, but it also has an Android-based system, Android 9.0. So for anybody who's looking for different operating systems, they can go ahead and actually work with the V67 if they're looking for Android. But if they're looking for a high-end Linux system, then they can work with the V65. Some of the unique things about these phones is that the warranty on these phones is actually a 2-year warranty, which is really above industry average in terms of us providing a good warranty amongst these phones. And something unique about the high-end V67 and the V65 is that it also sports antibacterial plastics. We realize that these things are often in a public environment, maybe used by several different individuals. And given the people that are very sensitive to germs these days, one can go ahead and actually touch this, and it's the most resistant type of plastic that you will find to, battle, be resistant against bacterial growth on the phone.
Got it. So, and that applies to the entire V-Series line?
No, the antibacterial plastics applies to the V67 and the V65.
Okay.
One of the workhorses that this line is the phone that really lies in the middle, which is the V64. It contains very similar features to the V65, but the color screen is a little bit lower, but at the same time, it really has all of the core features that people are looking for. I personally think it's sort of the great balance between dollar versus value. So you get all of the value for the same dollar spent. If you want some things like a tilt screen, it gives you some added features like the antibacterial plastics on a larger screen. You can move up or down depending on what you want to do.
Okay. And so you mentioned something interesting. So the 63, 64, 65, those are Linux-based.
That is correct.
And then the 67 is Android-based.
That is correct.
So is there any big difference between the two systems being either Linux or Android? Is there any advantages or anything like that?
Yeah, there are advantages. There are two types of clients. There are some clients, we'll start off at the Android base. In the Android, there are many partners that we have that actually author an Android-based application.
Okay, cool.
So take, for example, we may come across people in the hospitality market that have developed an Android application that, instead of looking at our standard web interface, or not web interface, but our standard GUI, what you'll end up seeing is their application. So it'll show things like, we need more towels. It also advertises where the hotel can show, hey, this is where happy hour is located at. These are our hours for cafeteria that's open.
Gotcha.
And it looks totally like an integrated solution for the hotel.
Interesting.
The Linux ones are pretty much a dedicated UC type applications where it's a dedicated phone. That could also be done here, but the good news is that the Android feature gives you that level of flexibility to go from one to the other. And this one allows to run those applications, whereas the Linux environment can pretty much run in any business environment without supporting the Android applications.
Got you. So that's really cool that you can customize the Android to that level, but that's not something Fanvil does directly. It has partners that you guys work with to be able to do that.
That's correct.
Gotcha.
In many cases, you could almost look at this as sort of like a PC environment.
Okay.
We build the platform, but we go ahead and actually, depend on other partners who have actually authored these applications and put all these things together. But one critical part about this entire series, which is also also critical, is that it also supports all of the provisioning tools that the partners are looking for. Because, very often we ask, partners don't necessarily deploy 2 or 3 of these things. They typically deploy 5 to 500 or 5,000 of these things in an organization. And what we have tools that will allow not only our device software, but also the capability of sending, the MAC address and the controls over to whatever their provisioning service is. So the idea is they can do this thing automatically.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So I know it has some accessories. I'm looking at a USB port here. So what other kind of accessories can you add to it? I believe you can add Wi-Fi. Some of the models of the V series come with Wi-Fi. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, about Wi-Fi. The only model that doesn't include Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is the V63.
Okay,
the V63 is really the baseline model for those who want primarily just a basic dial tone phone. But some of the accessories that range from this is that it'll have armed with, Wi-Fi 2.4 to 5 gigahertz to take advantage of both Wi-Fi systems. In terms of other applications, even on the baseline, on the 63, you could also put in a dongle as an accessory. So if you end up buying a lot of 63s and you happen to find a location that, I need wireless, there is an adapter that you could put in the back. But everything from the 64, 65, and 67, of course, they contain all of that technology integrated to the phone. The great application about that is you don't have to worry about another piece being taken off or failing. It's all integrated into one device, making it very simple.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So I know there's also some other interesting phones in the V series in the pipeline, and hopefully we can do another video about that as well.
Will do.
But a very interesting line of phones, a lot of different features, and we use them here in the office, and they're great. From the provisioning, like you said, the configuration, all the way through just the use of it, the daily use of it, they work great.
Yes.
So definitely excited to see more on the V series line coming out.
Yep.
So perfect. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, the V series lines of phones. We'll put a link on the bottom of the video for some of the phones that we have here at FLytec, and appreciate the time. We'll see
problem.
you guys next time.
Yeah, one little item I wanted to add on in terms of an added feature is that the V67 as well as the 65 actually contain a video codec on it.
Oh.
Because if you notice, Fanvil also provides a line of security products as well, of which since you're a master distributor.
Sure.
And that you can actually display that video on both this screen as well as the V65, where you can actually see the video and be able to open doors and locks with an auxiliary key. And that's something that's very unique to our phones that doesn't exist on many of the other applications.
Interesting. That's definitely an interesting bonus there. All right, cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, appreciate it. And we'll see you guys. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can get the latest from FLytec. Thanks.